Marriage is a territory filled with desires, expectations, unspoken secrets, and delicate balances that many couples never fully explore. When two people commit to sharing their lives, they often imagine a seamless union of passion, trust, and companionship, yet the reality can be far more complex. Behind the closed doors of the bedroom, countless individuals struggle with unvoiced needs, silent resentments, and the fear of judgment that keeps them from revealing their true selves. Sex is not simply an act, it is a profound expression of connection, vulnerability, and trust. It becomes the mirror that reflects the strength and the cracks in a relationship. Far too often, people assume that physical intimacy will remain effortless extension of love, but the truth is that desire requires conscious cultivation, honest communication, and the courage to confront discomfort. If couples avoid these conversations, resentment grows in the shadows, silently eroding the bond they once held sacred. Many marriages have been quietly wounded by unmet expectations and the fear of rejection. One partner may crave more adventure, novelty, or closeness, while the other may be paralyzed by insecurities or shame. The tragedy is not in the differences themselves, but in the unwillingness to sit down together and speak openly. Secrets, when left unspoken, become the fertile ground where infidelity can take root. Cheating does not always emerge from a lack of love, but often from a deep hunger to feel desired, valued, or alive again. The betrayal of an affair cuts deeper than most wounds because it challenges the very foundation of trust. Yet even in that devastation, there lies an opportunity for growth and so forth. If you have ever felt tempted to step outside your commitment, pause to ask yourself what longing you're trying to satisfy. Is it the need to feel significant, to reclaim lost passion, or to escape the weight of unspoken? These questions are uncomfortable, but they hold the power to transform your understanding of yourself and your partner. In the modern world, we are bombarded with illusions of effortless romance, flawless bodies, and perpetual sexual fireworks. Social media feeds us a diet of highlight reels that make ordinary relationships appear inadequate by comparison. But the truth is that every marriage contains seasons of distance, doubt, and longing. These moments do not signify failure, but rather the natural cycles of human intimacy. To sustain a marriage over years and decades requires resilience and the willingness to reinvent the connection over and over again. Intimacy flourishes when you treat your partner as an ever-evolving mystery rather than solve the question. It means staying curious about their hidden dreams, their quiet fears, and the secret longings they may not even know how to express. The hidden truths of marriage are that most couples are more alike than different in their struggles. Countless people lie awake at night wondering why passion has faded, why touches become rare, or why conversations feel shallow. Questions can become poison if they are never shared. The bravest act in any relationship is to look your partner in the eye and say, "This is what I need, and I'm scared to tell you." That vulnerability can feel excruciating, yet it is the doorway to deeper connection. Far too often, people protect themselves from hurt by pretending everything is fine while silently starving inside. They wear masks of contentment that fool no one, least of all themselves. If you are listening to this thing of recognition, take heart in knowing that you are not alone. Every marriage is a laboratory of imperfection, experimentation, and learning. There is no shame in admitting that you desire more closeness, more honesty, or more adventure. These desires are not signs of weakness, but signals pointing you toward growth. When you begin to honor them, you unlock the potential for a partnership that feels more alive and authentic. Do not wait for a crisis to start these conversations. Make it a practice to check in with each other to ask not only how your day was, but how your hearts are. When you give each other permission to speak freely, you create a sanctuary where secrets lose their power to divide you. Cheating remains one of those painful breaches of trust. And while it often feels like an ending, it can also become a catalyst for profound transformation. Infidelity exposes the fault lines that have long gone unaddressed, forcing both partners to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves and the relationship. Some couples discover that the affair was a desperate attempt to escape feelings of inadequacy or disconnection. Others realize they have been living parallel lives, sharing space without truly sharing themselves. If you have been betrayed, it is natural to feel rage, sorrow, and confusion all at once. These emotions are valid and you have every right to grieve. Yet within that grief, there is also the possibility of asking deeper questions about what needs to heal, what boundaries must be rebuilt, and whether forgiveness is possible. Forgiveness does not mean excusing the hurt or pretending it didn't happen. It means deciding whether the relationship is worth rebuilding and whether both of you are willing to do the work. Rebuilding trust requires radical honesty and sustained effort. It is a long road that demands courage, patience, and sometimes the help of a skilled counselor. But those who choose to walk that path often discover a level of intimacy they never knew existed. They strip away pretense and learn to communicate with raw sincerity. If you have never experienced this kind of honesty, you may be surprised at how liberating it feels to finally be known without disguise. Two can become a doorway into this authenticity. Physical intimacy is often reduced to performance or duty, but at its best, it is a language of acceptance and celebration. When you approach your partner with curiosity and open to show up fully as they are, not as you wish them to be. True intimacy is not about perfection, but presence. It is about the willingness to be seen in all your humanity and to see your partner the same way. This acceptance dissolves shame and builds trust that can weather any storm. Every couple will face moments when desire wanes or life's pressures intrude on connection. Careers, children, health challenges, and aging all shape the landscape of marriage. Rather than seeing these as threats, you can choose to see them as invitations to grow together. When you recognize that love must evolve to survive, you stop clinging to the past and begin co-creating a new vision for the future. This requires patience and humility because it means admitting that you don't have all the answers. It also demands compassion for yourself and your partner as you navigate uncharted territory. The hidden truths of marriage include the fact that no one else can fulfill you completely. Your partner can be your companion, lover, and confidant, but they are not responsible for your happiness. That responsibility rests with you. When you take ownership of your well-being, you free your partner from the impossible burden of completing you. This freedom allows love to flourish without suffocation. It creates a space where both of you can grow into the fullest expression of who you are meant to be. Perhaps the most important secret of all is that marriages thrive not because couples never struggle, but because they choose to stay engaged with each other through every season. They choose to keep listening, keep learning, and keep loving even when it would be easier to withdraw. If you are willing to do this work, to meet each other with honesty and compassion, there is no limit to what your marriage can be. The journey will not always be easy, but it will be real. And in the end, that is what makes it beautiful. You deserve a marriage that feels alive, not just a partnership that survives on autopilot. You deserve a relationship where your needs and dreams can be voiced without fear of ridicule. You deserve the freedom to evolve together rather than growing apart in silence. It all begins with the courage to tell the truth to yourself and to each other. What would happen if you laid down your armor and admitted the longing you carry? What if you invited your partner to do the same? These questions can feel terrifying, yet they hold the power to awaken the intimacy you have been craving. When you step into this vulnerability, you also step into possibility. You begin to see that the cracks in your relationship are not signs of failure, but places where the light can enter. You realize that honesty is the bridge between disappointment and hope. Even in the aftermath of betrayal, there is a chance to create something stronger and more authentic. This is not about erasing the past, but about learning from it and choosing how you will move forward. If you have ever felt the shame of sexual frustration or the loneliness of unspoken desires, know that you are not broken, you are human. Desire is not something to be ashamed of. It is a vital force that fuels connection and creativity. When you deny it or pretend it doesn't matter, you cut yourself off from a source of aliveness that can transform your life. Give yourself permission to rediscover your own body, your own longing, your own capacity for joy. Invite your partner to join you in this exploration, not as an obligation, but as an adventure. Marriage is a commitment to growth, is often uncomfortable. It requires letting go of illusions and facing the truth of who you are. It asks you to see your partner not as an extension of yourself, but as a sovereign human being with their own fears, needs, and dreams. When you embrace this perspective, you stop trying to control or fix each other. Instead, you learn to walk side by side, supporting each other's evolution. In the end, the greatest secret of all is that love is a choice you make every day. It is the decision to stay present, to keep showing up even when it would be easier to shut. It is the willingness to repair when you've hurt each other, to celebrate when you've triumphed, to keep believing in the possibility of renewal. This choice is what transforms an ordinary marriage into an extraordinary. No matter where you are in your journey, whether you are newlyweds decades into your marriage or recovering from betrayal, know that it is never too late to begin again. It is never too late to choose honesty, curiosity. These are the building blocks of a relationship that can withstand any challenge and emerge even stronger. Let this be the moment you decide to honor your deepest truths and invite your partner to do the same. You are worthy of a love that feels real. You are capable of creating a marriage that reflects your highest values and deepest desires. All it takes is the courage to be